What is up, guys? I am Sean with the Comics Pals here live at New York Comic Con 2023. It is Friday, so we're not quite exhausted yet, but I got to tell you, it has been a long day. There are a ton of people here, and standing next to me is genuinely one of my favorite people in this entire building, editor extraordinaire. You've seen her on the channel before. You're seeing her again, and aren't you lucky? I'm standing next to Drena Jo. Drena, how are you?
Guys, I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I haven't seen you in a year. I talk to you a lot, but I haven't seen you.
Yeah, I know. This is one of those relationships, and it's kind of what I love about New York Comic Con, and I want you to speak to this, is like, there are some people you only see like once a year, right?
Yeah, and you get like 17 hugs in,
yeah.
You know, and like all the kisses, all the hugs, all the, oh my God, I miss you, you know.
Yeah.
And that's the way I am with you. And Marco and the rest of the team, you know, I love you guys a lot.
Thank you, and we love you too.
Thank you.
For someone like you who knows so many people, honestly, I don't even know if you saw me, but we were running around yesterday,
yes.
And I saw you running around.
Yeah.
So
all over the place.
Yeah. Given that fact, this must be incredible for you to get to see everybody that you know. And
yeah, I used to do about 5-6 cons a year, and I'm down to 2. I don't have the energy.
Well, I'm glad you continue to make New York Comic Con one of those stops.
It's a great one. They are really good to me here, and you know they treat us really well.
So I know that you've been working on Hope, right, as an editor?
Volume 2,
yes, Volume 2, which is out now. The first 2 issues are out now. It's been fantastic. I spoke to Dirk about it, but we got his perspective.
Yeah.
I want your perspective on what you guys are trying to do and bring to the table with the second volume of Hope, specifically from your end of the spectrum, as quite frankly, someone who reminds me of Hope.
It's a mother's story.
Right.
Period. I mean, I guess she's a superhero, but that's so secondary to the story of her as a mom who's been treated so unfairly by the law and by paparazzi, and you know, all she wants to do is be a mom, be a wife, and take care of her family, and instead people are interfering in everything she does, and unfortunately they woke the beast. You know, and that's the reality. They're about to figure out why they shouldn't screw with women like that, and I love that. I love the triumph, you know, the triumph of that.
And so from your end of the spectrum, because obviously, you know, Dirk has been working on this for a while. From your end of the spectrum, with this second volume, what was so important for you to make sure that it came across through the story, whether it's because it was personal for you or just something that you thought was great about the story that wasn't necessarily as pushed forward, if that
I really
makes
hope
sense.
I don't offend anybody, but the fragile male ego.
Interesting.
You know, because the anger towards her for daring to have a secret life is mostly perpetrated by men who are angry about it, and like, good God, get over it, you know, like, you know, and the people trying to take from her are taking because they don't have the same power that she does, and that speaks volumes as for women as well. You know, to me it was so important to get that through, that people that are supposed to love her and cherish her hate her because she dares to be more powerful. So to me that's important to get across. So he has a totally different perspective. But, you know, I let him think that he's in charge, but he's not.
We're speaking to the boss now.
Yeah, I am the boss, the final boss.
Well, that's clever. I love that. That's one of those things about Hope that I think is interesting, is the fact that, yes, while it's not on the surface a horror book, there are elements of it that make me think about horror, because there's the horror of not truly knowing your partner.
Right.
Which is something that she's kind of going to be confronted by, but also the horror that women endure, as you just, you know, said so beautifully.
Yeah.
The fact that, you know, there are people in this world who will take your agency away and diminish your light, and to me that's pretty horrific.
Yeah, it is horrible what happens to her, and I mean it's not a happy story.
Right.
But I'm hoping I will be advocating for her to have a very happy ending. So that's something that we're going back on right now. Like, oh, hell no. No, we don't do that. No.
Oh, so there have been some things that you've had to say, like...
Oh, yeah. And which is why I'm the editor, and he's Dirk. He's the writer, you know. He's got to have a different perspective. Because he ain't a chick, so...
And I think that having... this is something that gets talked about a lot. You know, for example, the most recent Wonder Woman comic book has an all-male creative team.
Okay.
And
see, that doesn't bother me, not even in the least.
Oh, speak to that, please.
It doesn't bother me. I mean, the story has roots in reality, of course, hope, and so does Wonder Woman. I mean, in the sense that, she lives in the real world versus they don't all live on a different planet kind of thing. And it doesn't bother me when it's like girls on boy, girls writers, girl editors for boy. It doesn't bother me at all. Like, I think that everyone is capable of pulling the workload. So the reason I'm saying as his editor, it's not because I'm a mom or a woman, it's because seeing different perspectives is super important.
Yeah.
And before, he always had editors and stuff, and they were great editors, but for me, I'm able to just kind of steer him a little bit more when he gets on his little rampages and stuff, and it's like, calm down. It ain't that big of a deal.
As an editor, is that ever something that, how did you develop the confidence to be able to say, you know what, that's not what we should do? Have you considered this direction?
I don't know if it's confidence or the ability to say I don't care enough to work with you. Then if you're not going to listen to me, find someone who will let you do what you want.
Sure.
I'm not that girl. I won't be that girl. I don't want my name on anything that I don't agree with. So I have enough going on at home. I have a full-time job at home. I have 4 kids at home. I have my own life. It's not comic books. So for me, it's like if it's not going to be a good product, I just don't want to be. I don't want to be attached to it. So that's all.
Well, and honestly, I think that is important. Is saying, you know what, integrity matters. That's paramount.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, I get that. For some people, they have to have the job.
Yeah.
I got lucky that I don't. So that's all.
Well,
It sounds arrogant, but I'm not being arrogant. If they don't want to hear me about a couple of things, I'm cool with that. But if they're like, no, and then 90% of the story I disagree with, I'm not wasting my time.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
but editing is not the only thing that you do.
Okay.
Because, well, you did share with me.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That there may be a writing project coming down the pipe at some point.
Yes, there is. Becca is the artist. She's right here.
She's off camera, but yes, she is here.
Yes, I don't know what all I can say about it. I really don't. This would be my first foray into writing comic book, surprisingly, which to me is a surprise.
Surprise to me too.
And yeah, what do you want to know? I don't know what to say.
So my question to you is that as an editor, right? Obviously, you are helping someone make the best of their story.
Yes.
But now you're in the position where you dictate the whole story.
Oh God, yeah.
I guess is that a different kind of?
That's a great perspective. Maybe I'm not. No. Maybe I'm gonna just go and say no.
Is there a level of you that is excited by that prospect?
It was a long drive from Grand Rapids to Detroit, where I was telling Dirk, oh, you know what? I had this dream. And I told him the dream, and he was like, that would make an amazing comic book. And I'm like, oh, yeah, let's do it. Jokingly. And he was like, okay, so get out your phone and push record. And then he tell the story again. He's like, outline it, and now you've got your story. So even though I've been editing forever, and I know I need an outline first, I need this, breaking it down has been kind of daunting. So I admire writers so much. So for me, I'm going with it. I've got a great team. I've got one of my favorite artists in the world working
Beautiful
on it.
artwork, by the way.
And she jumped on it. She's like, yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, let's do it. Because I've been her editor forever. So, it's all good.
That's fantastic. I can't wait to see what it is. I wish we could get some kind of a tease of a little bit of something.
How do I say it? I even was like, how do I do this? How do I write the pitch? But it's about 2 sisters, and they both lead separate lives, communicate infrequently, and then one goes missing, and the other sister has to go into a very, very dark place to figure it out. And she ends up in an entirely different alternate reality.
Oh.
In order to find this kind of like supernatural killer that took her sister from her. And, you know, it's nothing personal. It's not like I have a sister that passed away or anything, but it is creepy as hell.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. That sounds fantastic.
It's not even in my wheelhouse usually. I don't like the blood and guts of things, and
right.
Things are eviscerated and things are skinned, and it's gross.
Wow.
It's
Well,
gross. That's why she's the perfect artist, because she does all the body modification stuff. So
that feels at home with, you know, you've partnered with Dirk for a while, so that feels at home with some of the stuff that he does. And I love the idea that you're going to sort of branch out creatively and do something, you know, with you behind the pen that's out of your comfort zone from a story perspective. So yeah. I can't wait for that. I'm sure the listeners can't wait for that. That's very exciting.
Okay.
I do want to ask you, though, because I know that there's a lot of stuff that you can't necessarily talk about now. But what can you tease us with?
Okay. Well, so the Ron Cheney Presents, that's huge. That's one of the things that I grew up watching. We have 2 titles in the works with them.
Okay.
With Ron Cheney and the Cheney Estate. And that's London After Midnight.
Wow.
Which is probably the most well-known story because, of course, they lost it in a fire. They lost the only copy of the movie in the fire. But Ron found the original script and the story art in a vault. And Mariana is, of course, doing the art. And, I mean, it is stunning.
Mariana Pascosta is incredible.
Oh, my God. So, I mean, she's just killing it with the scenes. And then Curse of the Wolfman is the second one that we're doing with Joshua Werner from Source Point Press. And I'm the editor for that as well.
Wow. So,
you know, and it's a totally different setup because it's actually in, like, present time. Okay. So it's taking over from the Wolfman and going forward. So I was excited about that.
That's super cool. I can't wait to be able to pick that stuff up. That's exciting.
And then there's the big one we can't announce yet. I don't even know how to tease it without giving anything away.
Oh, I mean, you could just announce it. It's it's just us. It's just us.
There's contracts. I won't break any contracts. But he's a #1 New York best time seller, like multiple times.
Wow.
His genre is horror, and we are doing a book with him. So I'm excited. I cannot wait. I cannot wait to announce this.
Without knowing, because I really don't know anything, the look in your eyes is telling me that this is going to be a bombshell.
Yeah, it is. I cannot wait.
That's really cool. Thank you so much, Drena, for giving us that.
No problem.
You guys need to definitely check out Hope. Hope is fantastic. And honestly, check out anything Drena does because, like I said at the top, she is the editor extraordinaire.
Thank you.
Where can people find you if you want to plug anything? Now's your chance.
I'm horrible at social media, but Drena Jo across the board. Editor Drena Jo on Instagram, Drena Jo on Facebook. I'm not on Twitter. Screw that noise. I'm not on X.
Yeah. X'd
out of there. Yeah, I'm out of there. That's about it.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Drena, for your time. I appreciate that. As always, thank you all for watching. Of course, I am Sean with the Comics Pals. We will be doing so many more interviews. We have a lot of great content coming, so stay tuned to our YouTube channel.
They are the best, the absolute best.
Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate that. And thank you guys for watching. Until next time, take care.
Thank you.